So I will cut my fabric now. So this is my 2-back panel. Can you see? So I have used my pattern to cut this one. So now this is how it was. I have fold in my dart. I have fold my dart here as well, and I've pinned down my pattern. I use it to cut this one piece. So now I will turn it this way to cut the other one to have 2 front panel. So I will cut my other piece. So that is how it will look like. Can you see? And I have cut out my 2-back panel already. And this is my front panel for the down part. So I have finished cutting the fabric. This is my front piece. Can you see? I've got the 2 wrap, 1 and the 2. This is for the front, and I have gone ahead to cut the same fabric that I will use as my lining. But you can decide to use your normal lining, so just cut it the same. Just carry the piece and place on your fabric, cut for this one and cut for this one. But I'm using the same fabric as lining, so I have gone ahead to cut for my lining. That is for the front. And for the back, these are my 2-back piece. I have cut my 2-back piece as well, and I have cut the same that I will use to turn the neck on the shoulder of my dress. So this is the 2-back piece, and this is my front panel for the skirt. That is the down part, and this is my back panel. Remember, you got 2 for the back. This is my back panel for the down part. So the next thing you do is to work on the down piece. You hold your dart for all the upper piece and the down piece. So for the back, make sure you mark your dart position, then you hold your dart, you sew your dart. But for this, I hold the dart before cutting the fabric. I fold in my dart before cutting the fabric. My fabric is stretch material, so I decided to hold it on the paper before cutting it. Then for the upper bodies, make sure you hold your dart both for the lining and for the main fabric. For the 2 front piece, for the 2 front panel, and also for your 2-back panel. But mine, I decided to hold it on the pattern before cutting my fabric. You can try that as well, or you can decide to hold your dart on your fabric. So now what I will do, I will go ahead and join the main fabric and the lining. This is the one I'm using for my lining. So I will make sure that right side, I turn it right side facing each other. Can you see? Now we'll go ahead to pin it down. So I've pinned down the one I'm using as lining to the main fabric. So I will go ahead and sew from this shoulder part. I will join it using 0.25. I will join it to this place. Then I will turn to my armhole. Remember the image that I show you how the hand looks like? The hand is open, the armhole is open, then with peplon, or should I say with flay at the down part. So, and I will turn my armhole, then I will sew to this point. After sewing it, I will bring it for you to see. So I'm using the down part here to turn everywhere out. I will do same for this other part of the front panel. I have pinned this one down already. Can you see? So I will sew the same way that I explained for this one. After sewing it, I will bring it for you to see. So I'm done joining the side that I'm using as my lining to the main fabric. Can you see? Can you see? This is the side I'm using as lining. This is my main fabric. I have turned the armhole and I have joined the side seam. I've done same for this other side and I've given it a good press. I have ironed it. So the next thing I will do now is to carry this other part, place it on top of this other one. I'll make sure that the wrapping side, that is the way that I'm going to wrap, will be from my right shoulder to my left waist. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. If I carry this cloth as I'm placing it like this, you see how I'm wrapping it. If I place it on my body, this other side will be my right shoulder, while this side is my left waist. So I will make sure that, let me turn this so that you can see. Yes, then I will make sure that I place it this way. Then I will make sure that it matches each other. Then I will measure from this other side. I'll measure from this other side to this other side. I'll make sure that I have my front waist measurement. Remember, we divide the waist measurement by 4 when the paper was on 4. This is the full front. So when you divide the waist measurement by 2, one side will be for the back and one side is for the front. 35 divided by 2, that gives me 17.5 plus my 1.5 inches side seam allowance. So when I add that to my 17.5, that gives me 21.5. Yes, that is my 21.5 inches. So I will go ahead and pin my fabric. I'll pin it down. So I've pinned it down. Then I will use 1/4 of an inch, that's 0.25, to join this one with this one, to join this down part so that they will be one like this. Can you see? I will go and join them. Then I will bring it for you to see. So I have joined my down part. Can you see? I've joined them. So the next thing now will be for me to join the skirt part to my upper piece. So this is my front, my right side, and this is the right side of the skirt. So I'll go to my sewing machine and join it like this, then I will bring it for you to see. So I've joined the upper part to the down part. Can you see? This is how it looks. Can you see? So the next thing now will be for me to work on the back piece. So for the back piece, I will join this one to this one first, then I will join the other side. I will turn it this way. I'll join the upper bodies to the skirt part. I will pin them down. Using my joining allowance of 1/2 of an inch. I'll do same for this other side. Right side facing each other. So I'll go to my sewing machine and sew it using 1/2 of an inch. That is 0.5 inch. So I've joined my back piece. I've joined both back piece. Can you see? I will go and give it a good press. I will iron it. Join both side. I'll go to my ironing board and give it a good press. After pressing it, I'll bring it. So these are the two back pieces. I've ironed them. The next thing I will do now is for me to determine where my zipper will stop. I'll determine where my zipper will stop. Then I will join the remaining part. So I will make them right side facing each other. Then I will pin it down. I've pinned it down. I will measure where I want my zipper to stop. Making use of this zipper. I want my zipper to stop 18 inches from the neck. So now I will go to my sewing machine. I will join this part down. So I will mark my 1.25 seam allowance all down. So I'll use my ruler and connect the line. Though this is optional. Then for beginners it's important so that you have a straight seam. Remember that our line is not, remember that the zipper allowance is not straight because of the boot shaping. So now I'll go and sew from here to here. Then I'll bring it. So I'm done joining the down part. Can you see? I'm done joining it. So now it will be for me to go and install my zipper. If you don't know how to install your invisible zipper, check the link on the description box. You'll see a video. I uploaded a video on how to install your invisible zipper. The easiest way, even if you don't have a zipper, invisible zipper full. So after installing my zipper, I'll bring it for you to see. So I have finished joining the side seam. As I said earlier, this is the side seam. I've joined the side seam. I've folded the hem. I have hemmed the down part. Can you see? So now the next thing I will do is for me to cut material for the sleeve. Remember, the sleeve is 3-step half circle flare, and the first flare is 4 inches. I want it to be 4 inches. The second flare will be 6 inches. And the third flare will be 8 inches. That's a difference of 2 inches each. So when I add the joining allowance for the upper part and the folding allowance for the down part, that will give me the first flare. I will make it 5 inches, so that I will use half of an inch for the folding at the top and half of an inch for the folding at the down part. So to get the circumference of the arm, I want to use my mannequin to demonstrate what I want to do. You measure from your arm, from here, that is where you want to join your sleeve. You measure from here to here. That is your hand. Let's just assume this is your hand. Then my mannequin doesn't have hand. You measure. I said I want it to be 4 inches downward, 4.5. So this is my 4.5. So at the point of that 4.5, I will measure my hand from here. That is for the front to the back. That is what I mean. Then you add your joining allowance, the allowance you will use to join here and here. So when you measure it, the next thing is for you to cut your fabric. Remember, the first one will be 5 inches. That's for the folding at the top and hemming at the down. So this first one I'm going to cut for the first one, which will be 5 inches. The second one will be 7 inches. That is with the joining. But after joining and the hemming, it will return it to 6 inches because I'm using half of an inch for the top and half of an inch for the down. So when you get your circumference, I'm going to cut for the 2 shoulders at once. That is, I'm cutting for my face shoulder, I'm cutting for the right shoulder and the left shoulder at the same time. So I will fold my fabric. For folding of my fabric, I will consider the length of the sleeve. I said this one is 5. So I have about 16 inches by 22 inches. That is, I'm folding into two. Like this is 11 inches. I fold into four since I'm cutting the right and the left shoulder at the same time. Then I will divide the circumference. That is the circumference of the hand that we just measure. Because the sleeve is half circle, so we are going to divide it by 3.14. So when I divide what I have, the circumference of the hand I'm working with by 3.14, I have 2.8. So I will measure my 2.8 so that I will draw an arc. I'll measure my 2.8. Then remember that the sleeve is 5 inches. So I'll add 5 to 2.8. That gives me 7.8. So I will measure my 7.8 to be the length of the sleeve. Then for the where I will get the curve for the sleeve, I'll measure my 2.8. So I will start with the 2.8. So that is the arc. Then I will measure my length. I said I needed 5 inches. So I will just join it with the 2.8. Then I will measure and cut. Let me rephrase what I said. When you measure the circumference of the hand that you want to cut the sleeve for, you add your joining allowance to the side of the cloth for front and for the back. Whatsoever you have, you divide that by 3.14. That is how we derive here. Whatsoever you have, you measure it and mark that. Then you determine the sleeve, the length of the sleeve. Like this one, I said I need 3 different lengths because the sleeve is half circle in 3-step half circle. So the first one I want it to be 4 inches. So the joining allowance here, the folding allowance here that I will fold the upper part of the sleeve, as you can see the sleeve on the screen, and the hemming allowance. I want to use half of an inch to hem and half of an inch here. So that gives me 1 inches joining allowance. Then when I add it to the 4 inches, it gives me 5 inches. That is how I get this other length. Then I will cut it out. Then for the second one, I will still mark the same 2.8 here, but the length here will be 7 inches because of 1 inches joining allowance. That's half for the upper part and half for the hemming, the down part. Then the third one will still carry this 2.8, but the length here will be 9 inches, and here will be 9 inches. I'll measure 9 inches all around because I'm using half to cut. I'm using ½ inch to fold it down and ½ inch for this upper part. So I will cut this. Can you see? This is the sleeve. So I said that I cut both the right and the left hand at the same time. I'll open this side and I'll open this side as well. And that gives me, can you see? Can you see? This is for one side of the sleeve and this is for the other side of the sleeve. I said it is half circle. Can you see when you join like this, you have 4 circles. Okay, so I will use this to cut the remaining sleeve. So I have cut the remaining sleeve. This is the first one. This is the second one. and this is the third sleeve. Can you see the three sleeve? This is the first one, which is the 5 inches, and this is the 7 inches, and this is the 9 inches. This is same for the left hand as well. So what I will do now will be for me to go to my sewing machine and hem the down part for all the 6 sleeves. After hemming it, I'll bring it for you to see. So I've finished sewing them, finished folding it. Can you see? That is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third one. Can you see? What I will do next is for me to fold each of them. I'll get the center, then I will notch. I'll notch the center for each piece. Can you see? So after notching the 3 pieces, I will then match the center, or match the notch point, that is the center for the 3, and I will pin it down. I believe you can see what I'm doing. I'll pin it. I'll arrange 3 of it and pin it to this end. Then I will go to my sewing machine. I will sew like this. So after joining them, can you see? I have joined them. I'll go ahead and sew here. I'll sew it this way, and I'll sew this other way as well. Then I will fold in this other part this way. I'll fold it in this way, then iron it. So let's go to the sewing machine. Can you see? I finished joining it, and I've been folding the top part. So what I will do next is for me to carry my clothes. Remember to measure from your shoulder to where you want to attach the sleeve. So for mine, I want it to start 4 inches below the shoulder point. 4 inches below the shoulder point. Remember the way you do for this other hand, you do same for the other hand. Measure my 4 inches below the shoulder. I will mark the point. Can you see? So I will carry my sleeve this way. Can you see? I will attach it this way, starting from that point. I will pin it down. Remember, it doesn't follow to the armpit. You just pin it straight down. Can you see? Till you reach the end. That is for the face side. Then I will flip it over this way. Can you see what I did? You flip it over. This is the shoulder. You just turn it this way. Then check your point. Pin this other side down as well. pin it down. Can you see? Can you see how it looks like? So let's go to the sewing machine and sew it following the pin. So I'll sew this other side as well. See, and I've done same for the other side. Can you see how beautiful it looks like? So beautiful. Can you see the sleeve? Thank you so much, guys. Let me go and put it on so that you'll see the beauty. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so that when once I upload new tutorial, you'll be first to be notified. Bye bye. See you on the next tutorial.